next thing I'm going to show you is how to do an invisible vertical seam. So this is where on some of our patterns you might be sewing up the side. So what you do is you attach your yarn to the bottom of your piece. Now what I've done is I've done this in a contrast yarn just so you can see, because if I did it in the yellow it's quite hard to see what I'm doing. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to find the little notch in between the stitches and you're going to weave them into each other. So let's put our needle through, gently pull your yarn, and then we're going to find that little notch on the other piece. So you can see it there, and then pull it through. Just keep finding it on both sides. And this will create an invisible seam. So you can see there how it's starting to close up on itself, and you can't even see the pink. So obviously when it's in the colour of your yarn, it'll look even more invisible. So again, just through that little notch, pull it through. And then on the notch on the other side. And you keep continuing this technique up to the edge of your work. And that's how you do an invisible vertical stitch. Now I'm going to show you how to seam horizontally. So this would be usually on your shoulder seam if you're not going to do your 3 needle bind off. So again, usually what you would use for this is you would cut your yarn when you cast off long enough that you can use it as the piece that you're going to seam. So that means you're dealing with that loose end as well. But for this instruction, I'm just going to do it on the pink so you find it easier to see. So I've threaded through where your piece of yarn would be. And what we're going to do is we're going to line it up. Again, right side's facing you. We're going to find this little notch on this side of the V, and we're going to pull it through. Yep. I'll also show you how to thread your needle while I'm here. So just pull it through like that. I usually don't tie it either, you just like leave it a little bit running, so it's easy to get it in and out as you weave. So we've done that one, now we go back in. Pull it through. Next one. Okay. Just keep pulling it through those little V's. So they start to, you can see them, they start to run into themselves. So obviously that would be yellow as opposed to pink when you're doing it. And you keep going along your work. And through the V's. And back on the other side. That will create that continuous line that you can see there. And that's how you do an invisible horizontal seam. So now I'm going to show you how to weave in your ends. So you can see here, this is an example of where I've changed on my ball of wool. So what we want to do is we want to weave that into the knit pattern so it doesn't have this awful kind of scraggy edge and have it all neat. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our little darning needle. We're going to weave our end through here. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to weave it into the direction of the knit stitch. So we're going to put it through and under these two bars here. And then we're going to follow this little stitch back around here and pull it back down. We'll do that again. So we're going to go through these two stitches. It's going to be a bit fiddly. And then bring it back down and around. So you can see it just kind of completely vanishes into the piece. So do it one more time, and through. Bring it back down. So we've done it 3 times, so that should be enough to secure it. And we can just cut the ends. So you do the same on the other side, but in the other direction, and that's how you weave in your ends.